I never thought much about my legs until that crisp autumn morning when I stumbled on my front porch steps. The fall wasn't dramatic. No ambulance needed, no concerned neighbors rushing over. Just me, sprawled awkwardly, feeling a surge of panic rise through my chest. That moment, with my knees throbbing and hands scraped, became a turning point that would reshape my understanding of aging. You might recognize this feeling, that sudden realization that your body is changing in ways you hadn't anticipated. The strength you once took for granted quietly slipping away, replaced by uncertainty with each step. This isn't just about getting older. It's about confronting what aging means for your independence and quality of life. Sarah, my neighbor of 15 years, had experienced something similar at 71. She described it as invisible erosion, the gradual weakening that happens so slowly you barely notice until suddenly you can't get up from a chair without pushing off with your hands. Her wake-up call came during a vacation in Boston when she couldn't keep up with her grandchildren at the Science Museum. The harsh truth I discovered that morning was that my legs, these pillars that had carried me through decades of life, needed attention before they betrayed me further. No one prepares you for this part of aging, for the moment when your body begins sending distress signals you can no longer ignore. What signals has your body been sending that you've been quietly dismissing? I spent the week after my fall researching what happens to our legs as we age, and the statistics shocked me. By age 70, the average person loses about 30% of their muscle mass compared to their younger years. This phenomenon, sarcopenia, doesn't discriminate and affects everyone regardless of how active they once were. You might be thinking this won't happen to you, or perhaps that it's an inevitable part of aging you'll simply deal with when the time comes. I thought the same, until my doctor explained that leg weakness doesn't just affect mobility. It cascades into balance problems, falls, fractures, and eventually, loss of independence. Michael, my former colleague who now lives in Chicago, discovered this reality the hard way. At 68, his declining leg strength meant he could no longer navigate the 3 flights of stairs to his apartment without stopping to rest. What started as minor inconvenience evolved into isolation as he began avoiding activities that required walking or standing for extended periods. The crisis lies not just in the physical changes but in how silently they progress. Muscle fibers thinning, bone density decreasing, circulation diminishing, all happening beneath the surface while we carry on, oblivious until that moment when our legs can no longer support our lifestyle. Have you noticed small adjustments you've been making to compensate for changes in your strength or balance? I scheduled an appointment with a nutritionist in Denver after learning that muscle loss isn't entirely inevitable. What you eat directly impacts how your muscles age, she explained, spreading research papers across her desk. The revelation that diet could significantly influence my leg strength felt like discovering a secret weapon I'd overlooked my entire life. You've probably heard countless nutrition tips over the years, but specific nutrients play crucial roles in maintaining leg strength that general advice often misses. Protein becomes increasingly important as we age, with research suggesting older adults need more, not less, to counteract muscle loss, about 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight daily. Jennifer, a nutritionist who works with seniors in Vancouver, tells her clients that eating for muscle preservation is different from eating for weight management. She helped Ellen, a 75-year-old with deteriorating mobility, transform her diet from primarily carbohydrate-based to one rich in protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients specifically targeting muscle health. The connection between what enters our bodies and how our legs function represents a powerful opportunity to reclaim control. Our muscles are constantly being broken down and rebuilt, and with age, this process needs more support, not less. When was the last time you considered how your diet specifically contributes to keeping your legs strong? I began my nutritional journey with salmon, adding it to my meals twice weekly after learning about its remarkable benefits for aging muscles. The omega-3 fatty acids, about 1.5 grams in a 3-ounce serving, work to reduce inflammation that can otherwise accelerate muscle breakdown and joint stiffness. You might wonder if one food can truly make a difference, but research shows that the combination of high-quality protein and anti-inflammatory compounds in fatty fish creates a powerful synergy specifically beneficial for leg muscles. The protein provides building blocks for muscle repair, while omega-3s create an optimal environment for this rebuilding process. Dr. Williams, a geriatric specialist in Seattle, regularly prescribes a salmon prescription to his patients facing mobility challenges. He tracked improvements in his patient Robert, a 78-year-old former marathon runner who had given up daily walks due to knee pain, and found that after 8 weeks of regular salmon consumption, inflammatory markers in Robert's blood had decreased by 22%. I noticed changes within a month, subtle at first, like less stiffness when rising from my desk after working for hours, then more significant improvements in how confidently I navigated stairs. The effects weren't immediate or dramatic, but rather a gradual return of strength I hadn't realized I'd been missing. Could your legs be waiting for similar nourishment to reclaim their former strength? If you're finding value in these insights about maintaining strong legs as we age, I'd appreciate your support. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based health information that can help you maintain independence and mobility. Your engagement helps this information reach others who might benefit from these nutrition strategies for stronger legs. Now, let's continue our journey towards stronger, more resilient legs. I incorporated Greek yogurt into my breakfast routine after learning it contains twice the protein of regular yogurt, about 17 grams per 6-ounce serving. This wasn't just about adding protein. It was about choosing a source that contained essential amino acids my aging muscles couldn't efficiently produce on their own. You might be consuming adequate calories, but without sufficient protein, particularly the complete proteins found in animal products like Greek yogurt, your muscles lack the raw materials needed for maintenance and repair. The combination of easily digestible protein and calcium makes Greek yogurt particularly valuable for leg strength and bone density. Patricia, a 73-year-old dance instructor in Toronto, maintained her teaching schedule well beyond when most of her peers had retired. Her secret wasn't just regular movement, but her religious consumption of Greek yogurt with berries and walnuts every morning, providing her body with a steady supply of muscle-supporting nutrients throughout her 7 decades. The transformation in my endurance after 3 months of increased protein intake was remarkable. I could stand longer at community events, walk farther during my neighborhood strolls, and recover more quickly after physical exertion. Our muscles don't just need exercise to stay strong. They need proper nutrition to respond to that exercise. Is your diet providing the protein foundation your legs need to support your daily activities? I discovered that leg fatigue often stems from poor circulation, not just muscle weakness after experiencing heaviness and cramping during my evening walks. Blood delivers oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products. When this system slows down, our legs feel the effects immediately. You've likely experienced symptoms of circulatory challenges without recognizing them as such. Cold feet, swelling around the ankles by day's end, restless legs at night, or that heavy feeling after standing for extended periods. These aren't just annoyances, but signals that your leg's support system needs attention. Thomas, a 69-year-old former construction worker from Portland, struggled with severe leg fatigue that limited his ability to play with his grandchildren. His doctor identified poor circulation as the culprit and recommended a nutrition plan rich in nitrates and potassium to relax blood vessels and improve blood flow to his leg muscles. I began to understand that circulation and muscle strength exist in a symbiotic relationship. Muscles need proper blood flow to function optimally, while movement helps promote that very circulation. Breaking this cycle of decline requires addressing both aspects simultaneously through strategic nutritional choices. Have you noticed any signs that your leg circulation might be compromised? I added spinach to my daily meal plan after learning about its remarkable ability to improve vascular function through its nitrate content. Just 1 cup of cooked spinach contains about 100 to 200 milliliters of nitrates that convert to nitric oxide in the body, helping blood vessels dilate and improving circulation to leg muscles. You may think of spinach primarily for its iron content, but its circulatory benefits extend far beyond preventing anemia. The combination of magnesium, potassium, and nitrates creates a powerful trifecta that addresses multiple aspects of leg health simultaneously, reducing cramps, improving oxygen delivery, and supporting proper muscle contraction. Diane, a 76-year-old librarian in Minneapolis, transformed her leg health with what her friends called her green smoothie obsession. After suffering from chronic leg cramps that would wake her at night, she began blending spinach with bananas and almond milk each morning, experiencing near-complete relief within 3 weeks of this simple dietary change. The difference in how my legs felt after climbing stairs was noticeable within 2 weeks of my increased greens intake. The burning sensation had diminished, replaced by a more sustainable effort that didn't leave me breathless and aching. The body's response to proper nourishment is often swift and remarkable when we provide exactly what it needs. Could leafy greens be the missing element in your leg health regimen? I incorporated eggs into my routine after learning they contain all 9 essential amino acids in the ideal ratios for human muscle maintenance. Beyond their 6 grams of high-quality protein, each egg delivers choline for nerve function and B vitamins that support the energy production muscles need to contract efficiently. You might have heard conflicting information about eggs over the years, but current research validates their role as a nutritional powerhouse for aging muscles. The protein in eggs scores highest on the digestibility scale, meaning more of what you consume actually reaches your muscles where it's needed most. William, a 77-year-old former teacher in Los Angeles, maintained his daily 5-mile walks well into his 70s. His morning ritual never varied: 2 eggs with vegetables and whole-grain toast, providing complete protein, antioxidants, and complex carbohydrates to fuel his impressive daily mileage without the joint pain many of his contemporaries experienced. The change in my leg stability became evident during my yoga class, when I could hold balance poses significantly longer than before. The connection between proper nutrition and functional improvement isn't abstract science. It's a tangible reality that manifests in everyday activities that once caused struggle. Are eggs featuring regularly in your meal plan, or are you missing this complete nutritional package? I hadn't realized how significantly vitamin D deficiency was affecting my leg strength until my blood test revealed levels far below optimal range. This essential nutrient doesn't just support calcium absorption for bone health. It directly impacts muscle function and strength, particularly in the large muscles of the legs. You might assume you're getting adequate vitamin D from casual sun exposure or your multivitamin, but studies show up to 42% of Americans are deficient, with the percentage climbing even higher among older adults. This silent deficiency can accelerate muscle loss while contributing to bone fragility, a dangerous combination for leg health. Margaret, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Albany, experienced unexplained leg weakness that her doctors initially attributed simply to aging. A blood test revealed severe vitamin D deficiency, and after 3 months of supplementation, she regained significant strength in her quadriceps and hamstrings, improving her walking gait and reducing her fall risk. I noticed improvements in my muscle recovery and overall energy levels within weeks of beginning vitamin D supplementation under my doctor's guidance. The interplay between nutrition and physical function becomes increasingly important as we age, with certain nutrients serving as critical keystones in maintaining the strength needed for independence. Could a simple vitamin deficiency be limiting your leg strength potential? I discovered the profound impact of hydration on leg health after experiencing frequent muscle cramps that disappeared when I began tracking and increasing my water intake. Proper hydration affects everything from the viscosity of blood to the efficiency of nutrient delivery, to leg muscles, and the removal of metabolic waste. You probably know you should drink water, but you may not realize that even mild dehydration, as little as 2% of body weight, can reduce muscle strength by up to 10–20% and significantly impair coordination. This effect becomes more pronounced with age as our thirst sensation diminishes, while our body's water needs remain constant. James, a 72-year-old avid gardener from Seattle, struggled with persistent leg fatigue that limited his time tending his beloved vegetable garden. His physical therapist identified chronic mild dehydration as a contributing factor and helped him develop a hydration schedule. Within weeks, he could work in his garden for hours without the familiar heaviness in his legs. The simple act of carrying a water bottle and consuming 8–10 cups daily transformed not just how my legs felt, but how they performed under stress. The efficiency of all the nutrient-rich foods I was consuming depended on adequate hydration to deliver their benefits to my muscle tissues. Have you considered how your hydration habits might be affecting your leg strength and endurance? I embraced an anti-inflammatory nutrition strategy after learning that chronic inflammation accelerates muscle breakdown and impairs recovery. By incorporating berries, turmeric, olive oil, and fatty fish while reducing processed foods and refined sugars, I created an internal environment conducive to muscle preservation and repair. You may not associate inflammation with leg weakness, but this silent internal process can significantly impact how quickly your leg muscles deteriorate with age. Foods high in antioxidants and omega-3s actively combat this process, while processed foods containing trans fats and high fructose corn syrup accelerate it. Catherine, a 75-year-old former ballet instructor in New York, maintained remarkable leg strength and flexibility through a strictly anti-inflammatory diet. After noticing increased stiffness in her joints, she eliminated inflammatory triggers from her diet and focused on incorporating natural anti-inflammatory foods, regaining much of her former mobility within 3 months. The reduction in morning stiffness I experienced after 6 weeks of anti-inflammatory eating made getting out of bed and starting my day noticeably easier. The body's inflammatory response exists on a spectrum, and our dietary choices push us toward either increased inflammation or recovery and resilience. Are your food choices supporting or undermining your leg strength goals? I recognized that nutrition alone couldn't solve my leg strength challenges. It needed to be paired with appropriate movement to signal my body to put those nutrients to work, building and maintaining muscle tissue. This partnership between nutrition and movement creates a synergy far more powerful than either approach alone. You might be focusing exclusively on exercise or exclusively on diet, but research shows that protein consumption timed around physical activity dramatically enhances muscle protein synthesis compared to either strategy in isolation. This becomes increasingly important as we age and our bodies become less efficient at building new muscle. Edward, a 79-year-old retired accountant from Chicago, reversed significant leg weakness by combining a protein-rich diet with a simple strength training routine 3 times weekly. His doctor noted that his improvement surpassed what would be expected from exercise alone, illustrating the powerful combination of proper nutrition and targeted movement. The transformation in my leg strength accelerated once I began synchronizing my protein intake with my walking and light resistance training. Simple acts like consuming Greek yogurt after my morning walk or having an egg with dinner after afternoon gardening maximized my body's ability to utilize those nutrients for recovery and strengthening. How might you better coordinate your nutrition and activity for optimal leg health? If you're finding these strategies helpful and want to maintain strong, stable legs as you age, I'd appreciate your support. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit from this information. Your engagement helps us reach more people with these evidence-based approaches to maintaining mobility and independence throughout life. Now, let's continue with our final insights. I learned that occasional bursts of perfect nutrition couldn't compensate for consistent patterns of inadequate nourishment when it came to maintaining leg strength. The body responds not to what we do occasionally, but to what we do regularly, creating a compelling case for sustainable nutritional habits rather than temporary perfection. You might be tempted by quick fixes or extreme approaches, but the research consistently shows that moderate, sustainable changes maintained over time yield far better results for preserving muscle mass than dramatic but temporary interventions. This becomes especially true as we age and recovery becomes more challenging. Linda, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Phoenix, maintained exceptional leg strength not through extreme measures, but through remarkably consistent habits. Preparing simple, nutritious meals at home, incorporating protein at each meal, and never letting more than 3 hours pass without hydrating. Her consistency created cumulative benefits that dramatic but unsustainable approaches could never achieve. The most profound changes in my leg strength and stability came not from perfect adherence to an ideal plan, but from the gradual improvement of my baseline nutritional habits over months. Small changes consistently applied transform not just our physical capacity, but our relationship with nourishment itself. What small, sustainable change could you implement today to support your leg health for years to come? I now understand that strong legs represent far more than physical capacity. They embody freedom, independence, and the ability to fully participate in life without limitation. Every nutritional choice I make serves this greater purpose of maintaining my autonomy and engagement with the world around me. You deserve the confidence that comes with knowing your legs will support whatever adventures, responsibilities, or simple pleasures you choose to pursue today and in the years ahead. The nutritional strategies we've explored aren't just about preventing decline. They're about preserving possibilities and expanding what remains available to you as you age. Anne, at 84, still travels internationally from her home in Boston, navigating airports and exploring new cities with a vitality that inspires everyone she meets. Her secret isn't extraordinary genetics, but extraordinary consistency in nourishing her body with precisely what it needs to maintain the strength that supports her adventurous spirit. The journey to stronger legs through nutrition isn't completed in days or weeks, but unfolds over months and years as small, consistent choices accumulate into remarkable resilience. I've shared these discoveries not because they're revolutionary, but because they're accessible, simple, science-backed strategies available to anyone willing to prioritize their future mobility today. What first step will you take towards stronger legs and the freedom they provide? Thank you for taking this journey with me towards stronger, more resilient legs. If you found value in these insights, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based health information, and share it with someone who might benefit from these strategies. Your support helps us reach more people with information that can truly transform lives by preserving mobility, independence, and quality of life as we age. Remember, the strength of your legs determines much of your freedom. Invest in them wisely,